Hey guys, good morning. Just here to talk to you about your Road Warriors programming for today. Today it is Sunday, um, May something or another. I don't even know. I at least remembered it's Sunday. So, what we've got today for our running work, we're going to start with our ankle mobility. So, the same movements that we've done before. Is it a little trippy that Amir's beside me? Just mixing it up a little bit today. All right, so we're going to start with our ankle mobility. So, we're going to start with the forward rocks. Five forward up onto your toes, five back into your heels. So, the same movements we saw earlier this week. So you're doing that. If you want to add a little kind of turning your toes out and then in, walking, moving through the inside and outside of your feet, that works as well too. Maybe five each side. You can add your arms if you'd like to. I don't know why I'm being so goofy today. I apologize. So we're doing a five each there, and then we're going into our little kind of quarter squat. So left foot is going to be planted. I'm going to bring my other foot up out in front, just going through trying to get some more ankle mobility through each leg. So sinking back, keeping your heel glued. Again, ideally, these should be familiar because you have been seeing these for these past 2 weeks now. This is the end of our second week doing these same drills. So we're doing five reaches forward on each leg, then we're doing five reaches laterally, and then we're doing five each of the curtsy lunges, right? So that's each leg, each direction, 5 reps. I'm tripping, I'm creeping myself out there. Maybe I could hold hands and do this too. Isn't that kind of cool? Anyway, all right. From there, you're getting into your warm up. So your warm up today, we've got 3 rounds of five each of a shin box flow. So for that, I'm going to take a little seated position. Hands can come back behind, especially for the first round. Maybe we're just, keeping our hands glued to the floor here, trying to get both knees to the other side of the floor, or to both knees down. If you're a little bit tighter, you might not get there. It might stay a little bit high for now. That's fine, especially for this first round. So you're doing five each direction. From there, we're going to flip on over and go just to some hip circles. So for these, I'll come to a tall plank position, then bring one foot up out in front, and then go into hip circles here. So we'll go about five in one direction, and then we'll switch and we'll do five in the other direction. When we're done with that, we're going to take it into an inchworm with a push-up. So you can start from a standing position here. Here's my friend. I'm going to hinge down, walk myself out to the top of a push-up position, and then I'm going to go into a yoga position, or yoga push-up. So it can come down, reach up into a downward dog, then come back up, walk my hands back up to standing, hit the kitty cat, and then repeat. So hands come down, I inchworm myself out to the top of a push-up, come down into kind of like a little upward dog, pike my hips back up as I walk back up. This is Sammy, guys. I don't know, you haven't seen Sammy too often in classes, in these videos, but this is Samson. He's 17, 18 years old now. He's still hanging in there. Wakes me up every morning at about 4:30 in the morning because he's a cat. Anyway, I digress. Okay, so we've got those. Oh, and then the final movement of your warm up are squats. So just 10 squats here. Feet in your squat stance, coming all the way down and up. And there goes Tucker. So knees go out and come to standing here, right? So from the side, hips go back, hip crease below parallel to get your full range of motion on the squat, and then standing. So the warm up is 3 rounds of five each of that shin box flow. Five each ground-based, the hip circles that we just did. We're then doing 5 inchworms with the yoga push-up, 10 squats. Now going back to that shin box flow, as you guys have seen in previous weeks here, if that's feeling pretty good, then the next level would be bringing arms out in front here for that shin box flow. And then next too, if that's still feeling good, then you could even take it to a bridge up here. If you come to that bridge, make sure you squeeze your butt, push your hips forward, control yourself back down as you switch sides. All right, so that is your warm up. Your once you're done with that, your running work for today, we've got 3 sets of a 1200 meter run. So with these 3 sets of a 1200 meter run, we saw this in our first week of this cycle where we did 4 sets of an 800 meter run. So this time we're adding a little bit more distance. We're keeping the rest at only 4 minutes in between each work set here. 1200 meters, if you don't have an exact measurement, you can use 2 laps around a block. That's roughly about that, but at least that'll give you like a consistent distance for each of these sets, resting 4 minutes between. Nasal breathing only, as we have been doing, and most likely you guys are wearing your coverings here to keep not only yourself safe, but to keep others safe. So please, I encourage you guys to do that. Yes, that might mean that you have to slow down your pace a little bit, but that's okay. Don't go into anything that feels too uncomfortable and too unmanageable. If you do get to that point, just slow down or even walk. That's okay, right? You're still you're getting out there. You're moving. You're still getting some fitness on, which I will take over over not doing it. So our running work today, 3 sets of a 1200 meter run. With these runs, ideally, I want the pace to be maybe slightly uncomfortable, but still repeatable. So repeatable meaning that I would like to see each of these 1200 meter times to be fairly consistent. Not like crushing the first one and then falling apart, or on the flip side, not like saving it all until the third one and then going all out. So try to keep a consistent pace through those 1200 meters. When we're done with that, we're going to get into a little cool down of first, when you're done with your third one, take it into 3 to 5 minute walk. You guys know the drill. Just start to bring down your heart rate there. And then we've got a little bit of mobility. We're going to start with a lying figure 4 or even a seated figure 4. So if you're lying, you might come all the way back, maybe extend one foot up, bring the other foot up and over, and then you can thread your hands through your leg here. Leaning back, can extend that other foot up, maybe even point and flex that toe. We did some of these this nerve flossing in class on Friday morning, so you could definitely throw that in if you'd like. Maybe flex that toe towards you, point that toe away, and then let your knee come back down. If you want a little bit more stretch here too, you can push just above the knee. I'll show you this way. Yep. Push down on that knee here and get a little bit more stretch. I think you can do this seated as well. So kind of depending on what you're feeling, you can just bring it kind of across your body here and maybe pushing down, right? So giving yourself a little bit of feedback there. Couple minutes each side, anywhere from 90 seconds to 2 minutes on one side. And then from there, from a seated position, I want you to bring that foot down. You're just going to add a little twist. So you can maybe just hang on to your knee here with one hand, and then bring your other hand behind you to get into a little twist. If that's no problem, you might be able to hook your elbow around that knee and then offer a little bit of twist. Or if maybe you're a little bit more flexible, you might be able to, I'm a little tighter here, bring your elbow to the outside and then add that twist then. Try not to crank into it too much though, so listen to your body. Only go in as far as you're comfortable, just getting a little bit of movement through your spine there. When you are done with that, let me see what I have written down. Next, we have, we're going into couch stretch, so you guys are familiar with couch stretch. Maybe I'll do a little cat stretch. Pet Sammy. So you can bring one foot back behind you onto the wall and then bring the other foot up out in front and then come to standing. Ooh, I've got tight quads here. So this feels really good here. Make sure you're squeezing your butt. Try not to be bent over too much here. So sitting nice and tall or kneeling nice and tall. If that feels too awkward on your foot, you can totally just come to a position where you're reaching back. Ooh, I just freaked out my cat. Reaching back, grabbing your toe here, or even if that's too much and too aggressive, it's totally okay to keep that knee down on the floor. Stay upright here, and then maybe you can kind of shift everything forward to get a little stretch to that side. Accumulate upwards 90 seconds to 2 minutes on one side, and then switch. And then finally, when you're done with that, we'll go into our down dog calf march. So from tall plank position, pike your hips up, And then Sammy's looking at me like I'm crazy. Alternating which hill you drive down, holding for a count or two, and back and forth. So that is your work for for today. Please feel free to reach out if you guys have any questions, if you have any comments, if you have any questions for Samson, and I'll do my best to get back at you. All right, guys, have fun, take care, stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys next week.